Welcome to the PI Podcast, your destination for everything NFL, discussing the latest news and providing in-depth analysis of every NFL game. And now, here are your hosts, Ian and Tesh.
Yo, what is up, Elite? How's it going, Elite? We back. Ian's not here today. I tried messaging him again, but he didn't respond, so I can't do anything about that. So I'll keep it going. At least if he ever responds, you'll see him eventually. But we got Julio today, so Julio's there. The Patriot fan as always.
We're here.
Plan today, Elite. Any questions you have, Elite, feel free. But the plan today is TNF recap, and we're going to be going over week 2 games, so we should be here a little while. And we'll pick game picks, of course. I did pick my game picks on Tuesday, but I just said whoever's going to win, so. He said, what's good, Julio?
What up? What's up, Elite?
Yeah, so we're going to go over TNF and then get to our game picks, score prediction, all that good stuff. But first, Young Goku officially did not travel with the team to Minnesota, so our Parker Romo will be the kicker for the Falcons Sunday night. It wasn't injury related, so I guess they just said don't get on the plane. Literally. That's what they said.
Yeah, they were probably basically like, hey, just take a week, relax, and maybe join us next week or something like that.
Yeah, probably like get your mind straight and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because he was very visibly upset after that missed field goal. He threw his helmet on the ground, almost hit himself in the head.
Yeah. Almost gave himself a concussion. It's all right, though.
Yeah, you don't need that. Dude, that helmet's a huge condensate. I'd be pissed.
And Young Goku is probably the most, tame, most relaxed guy on the team, probably.
Dude, he's just a chill guy. He literally has a necklace on him all times.
Yeah.
Dude, I'd be pissed. Yeah, exactly, Elite. I'd be pissed. Dude, I don't know what's going on with Koo. I mean, I hope we might cut him. I don't know. It depends how Parker Romo plays this Sunday night. But Raheem Morris did say that we are going to be changing up packages to because we don't have a kicker technically yet. So the game plan will change as needed. If you've seen that corner, I got a little red zone there. But
yeah, I don't see your screen. I just see mine, but it's totally fine.
It's okay.
Yeah, totally fine.
So Thursday night football, we got the Packers, and yeah, dude, Chris Boswell was so good, Elite, last year. And he's continuing it this year. I didn't think we'd ever have that issue with Young Goku. I mean, I don't know what's going on with him. If he can fix himself and beat a coup again, I mean, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
Chris Boswell is on good pace right now. That's all I gotta say. He kicked a 60-yard field goal, I'm pretty sure, last week, right?
Yeah, it was like 59 or 60, but yeah, it was there. He was on point.
Yeah, so you don't got to worry about that. So I mean, I haven't had to worry about that since Matt Bryant. Matt Bryant was absolute beast, and then it was when we had the 3 Matts on the team: Matt Ryan, Matt Bryant, and punter Matt Bosher. So we had 3 Matts on the team. But Thursday night football, we had the Commanders and the Packers. Just first of all, I want to say they better get Jane Daniels some protection, otherwise this is gonna be a long season for him.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Jaden Daniels going into a sophomore year, there is basically a whole season of last year from his freshman year going just, all the footage from him. So I think teams are actually just dissecting him as a player and how he plays and, trying to roll out the pocket. And they're actually in Green Bay played amazing containing him. And honestly, I think, Jane Daniels, his rookie year, there was really no footage to go off of. And I think Green Bay just, they went in there very, very prepared against Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, exactly what Julio said. The, it just, as a team, your receivers have to have separation. And the thing was, you have Scary Terry, you got Debo Samuels to help explosive wise, and now you can't get separation with the wide receiver. So Jane Daniels had to scramble when he could, but even when he did scramble, Packers had such good contains that he literally couldn't go anywhere with it. Yeah, literally, Green Bay had the blueprint for Jane Daniels and how to cover him, how to contain him. But also their cornerbacks were sticky. I think they allowed like barely any separation on the receivers. Like you'd think Scary Terry would beat anybody, but he just wasn't beating anybody. And the Packers have good corners, right? They don't have great corners. I mean, they're playing great right now, but with the loss of Jairi, I really thought they'd be lacking a little bit in the cornerback game.
That player, I forgot what number he is. I don't
Keyshawn
know. Was
Nixon.
yeah, Nixon? Oh my Glanta. He was honestly whoever he was covering, whether it was man or he was really covering, the hard flat in that corner, he was just on top of it. He was probably, I would name him player of the game, other than, obviously Tucker Kraft. But yeah, Nixon was, absolutely like amazing to like watch that game. And then obviously you add on Micah Parsons that, definitely disrupted the Commanders offense, and, he played really, really well as well.
Yeah, Debo has been Jane Daniels' number one target. I mean, you think that. I mean, it does help you have Scary Terry on the other side, which I think is opening up Debo a lot. But first week he had like 8 catches. This week he had like 7 or 8 again. Um,
Yeah.
Let me go back to that scoreboard real quick. But
Yeah, they tried a couple of end arounds with Debo. Green Bay was pretty much on top of it. Jane Daniels, I think his longest pass was like, I don't even know if he passed 30 yards like in one play. Because Green Bay's defense was just really on top of it. He was most towards, the check down, the curls in the middle, the comebacks, and Green Bay was just totally on top of the deep ball most of the game.
yeah, Keyshawn Nixon had 5 pass deflections. Julio's camera's
Correct.
gone. What the heck? Okay, one sec. Okay, you should be good now. You should be good. Yeah, you're. Nixon has 5 PBUs. Yeah, literally. That's actually insane how well he's been playing the first 2 weeks of the season. I expect to continue. They get 10 days of rest after playing,
Yeah.
being 2-0 and playing that good. 10 days of rest from Micah Parsons as well, and he didn't even play the whole game. They're still on a snap count for him. So the Packers just played well defensively, but also Austin Eckler tore his Achilles, so that isn't good.
Yep.
And they traded Brian Robinson Jr. before the season started. So I mean, you're gonna have to rely on a rookie, but why would you trade Brian Robinson? I get some reason why you trade Brian Robinson Jr. Because you think your running room is good with the rookie and how he played in preseason stuff. But in my mind, there's no reason to trade Brian Robinson Jr. because Eckler was always getting older. Bill's a rookie. You never know how he's going to play, and he hasn't really done much except one rush in week 1. So I just think that was a really odd decision from them to trade him. And they didn't really they got like a 5th round pick out of him too. So really, is that worth not having a good running back room this year?
Yeah, and not knowing, obviously trading Brian Robinson Jr., you would have definitely had, secured a number one running back if Austin Eckler did get hurt, in which he did, because, they knew hoping their minds when they traded Brian Robinson Jr. and, had Eckler, hoping that in their minds that they were like, well, yeah, Eckler is is injury prone. Maybe let's not trade Brian Robinson Jr. Well, it didn't go that way, but well, now week 2 you lost Austin Eckler, so now you got to rely on your rookie as basically RB1 that only got, I think, 1 run for 7 yards in week 1. So now, we'll see what they got to do next week for that.
Yeah, and yeah. The funny thing is, Julio, did you see that video? Micro Parsons post game presser. It
Yep, we're basically the crowd was screaming, "Thank you, Jerry,"
that
and
yeah, that one and the one where he said he didn't get 100% snaps, so he's already pissed that he didn't get all
yep,
snaps.
yep,
Yeah, that's actually in 44 snaps that he took. It's not. It's I think it was 1/3 of the game snaps he had this week. He he was the leader in quarterback pressures and got a sack. So
yep.
Dallas, what are you doing? Why did you even make that trade? I understand a little bit, but at the end of the day, you just trade away probably the best defensive player in the NFL right now.
Yeah, like we'll get into tomorrow's games, including Dallas. We'll talk about Dallas and everything too. But yeah, it was just a very dumb move to get Micah Parsons out of there. But we'll get into that with how Dallas is going to be holding up next week or tomorrow. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. I just can't stop raving though about the Packers defense, like and even their offense too. Unfortunate for Jaden Reed. Hopefully he's not out crazy amount, but I think I saw he's gonna be out a month or two, with that
Yeah.
collarbone.
Oh,
So
yeah.
just
Yep.
Jordan Love is playing really well right now. I think the thing I saw was that they also kept letting the Commanders get back in, almost come back in the game. Like there was a point where it's still 2 possessions in third quarter, and Jane Daniel and them are driving, and luckily their defense got a stop. But on offense, they literally went a first down, then went penalty, and a stop, and then they had to punt it back, and it was still a 2 possession game. So they got to clean up some things on offense, penalties wise, on both sides. And this should have been like a 40-18. What was it? 40-18 game.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And make a last point about this game. Really, I think Jordan Love definitely has to brush up his connection with Golden, because Golden would have had a monstrous game if some of the throws were on point. Regardless, yeah, Commanders, the safeties and the corners were definitely on Golden, reading him, but some of those throws that Jordan Love could have had, Golden would have been MVP of the game, honestly.
Yeah, that was, I think it was what, a 70-yard touchdown it would have been to
Yeah.
Golden if he didn't underthrow it a little bit.
In a post I read earlier, or I don't know if it was today or yesterday, that Pritesh and I we're very big into fantasy. That if Golden would have caught everything that he did miss, he would have had like 22.7 points, which is crazy.
Yeah, I saw that too. He would have had 27 points something, whatever fantasy points if he Jordan Love threw that ball accurately. And elite. Yeah, sometimes Love gets a little antsy with his feet, which also hurts his throwing motion because sometimes he plays with his feet a lot, which is why that throw was a little airy and underthrown. He needs to set his feet better, but overall he's been a lot better than he was this year. I mean, feet movement wise.
Yep. Honestly, overall, this game, it was a great game to watch. Great defensive game by the Packers. And I'm kind of excited to see how Green Bay goes the rest of the season. Honestly, 2-0, looking great. And, like I said, excited to see how far they go in their division.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the stats. Jane Daniels barely got 200 yards. I mean, it goes to show Jane Daniels is a problem with his legs, and there were times where I thought he would have been going for like 20, 30-yard rush right there to get some momentum in this game, and that's what they needed. The Washington Commanders did, but the problem is Green Bay contained him so well. Like anytime he tried to run in a pocket, someone was on him,
Yep.
It's literally what Elite said. He said it was a playbook. The Packers had the playbook for the Washington Commanders, and
Yeah.
Packers look like they might win the division this year. It's only 2 weeks, so I'm not gonna get it overreact yet. I still think the Lions will win the division. We haven't seen them play again. Week 1 is an outlier always every year, so we never know what a team looks like until about week 6 or 7. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
totally agree.
Thursday Night Football was fun though. We did see a lot of explosive plays from Josh Jacobs and the receiving core. Tucker Craft especially. I mean, could talk about Tucker
Yeah.
Craft for a while. Literally, he had over 120 yards and a touchdown, and it just looked like the main receiver.
Yeah. I had him in like 1 or 2 of my fantasies, so it was kind of nice, you know.
Yeah, it is honestly impressively Green Bay shutting down 2 good playoff teams, one that made it to the NFC Championship and one that almost did.
Yep.
And the Packers have played these 2 teams as good as anyone can, and they made them look bad. It's not like it was a close game, both games. No, they kind of embarrassed them, which is
Yep.
pretty scary if you're in that division for the Lions, Vikings, and Bears. If you're gonna have to go and play this team 2 times a year with Michael Parsons on that defense and everyone playing, especially Michael Parsons, Keyshawn Nixon, and dang, how am I forgetting his name? The Packers defensive tackle. Uh, he was really really good.
Oh, uh,
He's Rashawn Gary. Yeah, Rashawn Gary
or
was an
something.
absolute
Yeah.
beast. He has 3 sacks now in 2
Yeah.
games. Absolutely
And
insane.
then that one really fast linebacker,
Edrin Cooper.
Edrin Cooper, he made a couple really great plays on during run defense. It was his speed was just incredible.
Yeah, him and Quay Walker are
Yeah.
amazingly fast, and it's scary because they're figuring it out. And I don't
Yeah.
think any team wants to play them right now,
Yeah.
especially coming off a 10-day rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Packers looking good. We're gonna move on to Sunday slate. First game up on the list
Tell me.
is the Rams and the Titans. I'll let you start this one off.
Ooh. Okay. Um, I think, I liked watching Cam Ward play. Obviously number 1 overall pick in this year's draft. He did make some obviously rookie mistakes. This is his rookie year. The Rams, though, Rams defense looked amazing. Pretty decent on week 1. Had I think one or two, maybe one, just forced fumbles, great breakups. And obviously you have a very young defensive line and edge rushers for the Rams. So I'm very curious that if Cam Ward is going to be very, because you went up against, Titans went up week 1 against basically one of the top defenses in the league, the Broncos. Nick Bonito was getting in there pretty much very easily, disrupting the rookie Cam Ward. So I'm very curious of how the Titans are going to react to the Rams' young defensive line as well. Yeah, I can't wait for that game. Obviously Matthew Stafford looked really good at week 1. Obviously with his whole back, the news about his back and everything. Puka, got hit really, really hard, started bleeding from his head week 1. But he bounced back and, had a great game. So yeah, I'm excited. Pritesh, how do you think Cam Ward is going to react against his Rams defense now?
So when I watched the game in Tennessee versus the Broncos, I thought the Broncos were going to destroy them because the Broncos defensively, even in that game, even though they didn't get blown out, they didn't blow them out. The
Yep.
Broncos defense looked really good. Like,
Yeah.
especially what you said. I like that you pulled out Nick Bonito. Nick Bonito's been an absolute beast in week 1. He was flying all over the field and everything. Yeah, elite. uh, Elite said, I don't trust the receivers or that Titans offense at all. Ward can't
Mm-mm.
do it all, even though he looked good last week. Despite what the stats show, I think Ward will be elite one day, but he needs help. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was about to say. Cam Ward, as a rookie against probably the best defense in the NFL right now, you could make a case for Packers as well. Packers probably are, but just saying, like, just based off of last year, uh, he looked he made some throws that you're supposed to make, and he did it against one of the best defenses in the league. The very first drive he had, 3rd down and 10, he was literally trying to run the pocket, but then he couldn't run, so he looked around, found his check down on the left side to his running back, and his running back got the first down. I mean, that just goes
I
to
think that
show
was
that's
Tony Pollard, right?
yeah, Tony Pollard.
Yeah. Yep.
It just goes to show his awareness, and a rookie having that much awareness in his first ever drive in an NFL game against one of the best defenses in football. That's just kind of amazing to me because throughout the game too, he was throwing the ball on the money. Of course, you're gonna have rookie mistakes, but he really didn't have too many rookie mistakes that you think he'd make. And again, with a really good defense. He threw the ball accurately into his receivers' hands, and the issue for them as well was all the drops the receivers had, especially in the last drive of the game to go and try to win it. Calvin really dropped 2 passes. The other
Yep.
receivers dropped passes all game long, uh,
Yep.
and the offensive line didn't do him any well either. So you got to protect your rookie quarterback. That's the first thing, and them being in that game the whole time goes to show that defense, the Titans defense, they can rush the passer and they can play tight defense. They were giving Bo Nix problems all day.
And I think the huge issue with that game, week one, obviously, we'll talk about, the Titans going up against the Rams, but that huge issue with the Titans against the Broncos was the coach Callahan. Obviously, a lot of Titans fans, I live in Tennessee, but, I've talked to a couple of Titans fans, and they do not like Callahan at all. And with that game, they should have called that timeout. You had literally, I think they had 2 or 3 timeouts at the end there, but they never called it.
Yeah, and a
So
big thing he didn't challenge the catch that was
yeah,
made by Alec Manor, I think it was. He had a
the
catch on the
rookie. Yep.
sideline, and he didn't challenge it. And then in the press conference post game, he was like, I think I have a good feeling of whether he got it or not. I just
Yeah.
I don't know what he's thinking. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Let me get into the next game before I go on and on. I reiterated this again from Tuesday's podcast. So if you want to see more about the week one games, I have it. Watch Tuesday's podcast because I do go very in depth.
Yeah.
But this week, Rams and Titans. The Rams defense is young, as Julio said. They're really good and feisty. Jared Verse, defensive rookie of the year for a reason. They were
Yep.
giving CJ Stroud a hard time last week.
Yep.
And I expect them to do it again this week against a rookie quarterback. It is. I don't know what the schedule makers did to why they did this to Cam Ward, but they hate Cam Ward for some reason. Back to back, really good defensive teams, especially rushing the passer. This is gonna be a real test for Cam Ward these first few weeks of the NFL season.
And then you got a defense that stopped their Texans' number 1 wide receiver Nico Collins for just a couple of yards. So yeah, the Rams going up against Cam Ward. Bless your soul, Cam Ward. You got a challenge going up, but it's definitely going to be a game. Titans defense is I would give them a rating of like maybe a C plus, B minus maybe if you want to be generous. But for me, I think my pick is going to go the Rams at home against the Titans. Well, at Titans home.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I wouldn't call for Brian Callahan to get fired yet. He's young. He's a rookie second year head coach now. He, they shouldn't fire him yet, of course, but if he keeps making mistakes like this, he's gonna get fired. I mean, just missing easy challenges. Come on, man, you can't do that. And yeah, Stroud was running for his life every time he snapped the ball. Like his offensive line did not help him at all. But the Rams, I think they're gonna get a lot of pressure on Cam Ward. His receivers are gonna let him down because Cam really thinks he's all that, but he's really not. If he actually could catch a ball, maybe. But Alec Ayamaner actually did. Their rookie Cam Ward threw him a lot as a rookie, so watch out for him. He might start coming up as the wide receiver too, because Tyler Lockett did not have a good game, and he really did not get that many catches either. So Alec Ayamaner really was kind of one of the main targets for Cam Ward. So look for that. And I'm gonna go with the Rams here, of course. I just think the Rams are better.
Yeah. Before we get into our picks, before we get into our picks for this game, I was listening to the Titans radio the other day, and they made a pretty funny joke. They were like, "Man, if the Titans would have won against the Broncos, if they had Treylon Burks back, you know what I mean? So I'm sorry, fans don't have Treylon Burks anymore."
Dude, I don't even think that would have mattered.
Yeah.
What are they talking about? Jeez, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a delusional Titans fan right there.
Yeah. It was Titans radio making a joke, but it was okay though. They were laughing it off.
Oh man, I think that.
Yeah.
I think that Rams offense. It knows how to click. Puka Nacua is gonna get his yards. So is Devontae Adams. Puka Nacua had like 10 catches for week 1, so he's probably gonna get 10 more. I'm gonna go to Rams here. I think it's gonna be 27-17. I think it's gonna be a 10-point swing. I don't think the Titans defense will be able to shut down the Rams like they did with the Broncos.
Yep, I agree.
Okay.
I think my picks going in, definitely for the Rams. I think the Titans are still going to struggle defensively against Puka, Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams stopping that run, and Matthew Stafford being the pocket passer that he is. I'm gonna my score. I'm gonna go 27-10 Rams.
Okay, pretty close.
Yep.
So next up, we've got the Jaguars at Bengals.
Oh yeah,
it should be a fun matchup. Joe Burrow and company, they always get slow starts for whatever reason. I can't figure it out. He played in preseason too, so there's no reason to have such a slow start at the beginning of seasons, but he did it again.
Hey, we beat him week 1 last year.
Yep.
Come on.
Yeah, you did. And it should have never happened. Actually, I did bet on the games this week, like the winners, and that was the only one that missed.
Yeah.
And it was 5 into 14,000. So disappointing. But but the Bengals, they can't keep starting slow like this. I mean, if you can't, they almost dropped that game against the Browns last week. It was a 1-point win, and Joe Flacco and that Browns team was almost driving down the field to get into field goal range. If their kicker wasn't so bad, they'd probably win that game. Yeah. But this week, the Bengals are going up against a Jaguars team that offensively has a lot of weapons, but they didn't really use them last week. Travis Etienne went off, which is a big reason why they won that game. And also, Trevor Lawrence did what he needed to do in that game. They should have blown out the Panthers by a lot more. The defense was outstanding last week. They shut down Bryce Young. There's going to be a real test this week against Joe Burrow. Oh, I'm sorry, Bryce Young, but you're not a real test. So the Bengals, they're going to have to play against this really good pass rushing defense. I think they can get them on the outside corners on the zone and when they run zone. And even man, too. I think Jamar Chase Higgins are better than the corners on the Jaguars. It's just going to go down to Trevor Lawrence on the Jaguars. Last week when he played, every snap that I saw him throw, he was a mixed bag. He is either on target or off target. He missed some easy throws that he shouldn't be missing. Like there's a 2-yard out route to the left on Travis Etienne. He literally airmailed that for no reason, and he was clean in the pocket. So Trevor Lawrence got to step his game up. Joe Burrow and the offense can't start slow. Their defense has got to contain Trevor Lawrence and got to guard a tough challenge in Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter. So it's we're really gonna really see how well the Bengals defense really does against this kind of stacked offense.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's still going to be a really good game. Especially you think about the Jaguars, you think about the Bengals. So I think it's definitely going to be a really good game. Trevor Lawrence played, I would say, pretty well last for week one. And then we got big news that Tank Bigsby went to the Philadelphia Eagles now. So, your running RB1 is going to be Travis Etienne. RB2 is going to be your rookie, Tutton.
Yeah, too.
Tuen. So that's going to be a cool combo to watch. Joe Burrow, I feel like, is going to make a angry kind of comeback at home, especially with Jamar Chase, because Jamar Chase really, I think he only had three or four receptions for not that many yards. If we just pull up the stats,
Yeah, he had 29 yards.
Yeah,
Both of them
so
did. Him and T. Higgins.
yeah, so Joe Burrow, I think, is gonna have an angry comeback against the Jags, but he's also got to go against a pretty decent Jaguars defense. They also have a pretty young defensive line, and obviously, you got Chase Brown in the backfield. Chase Brown is probably going to do pretty good, but I feel like going against the Jags, I feel like the Bengals are going to want to be throwing the ball a lot more than rushing, because they know of the defensive line of the Jags. So honestly, I don't know. It's a hard pick, but I feel like my game day pick is going to be Joe Burrow at home. I'm going to guess 35-27 Bengals win.
Ooh, okay. I like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
he had 2 catches. Jamar Chase had 2 catches last week. That cannot happen again. But I do want to give the Browns credit. I mean, their defense is really good. They have been for the past few years. And look, the Bengals, they got to get their pass catchers involved, of course. Chase Brown carried the ball last week 21 times and had 43 yards. So they got to step that up a little bit if they're going to give him that much of a load. Their receivers have to get open, and that line's got to give Joe Burrow time. There was literally last week 2 plays in a row. They were near their own end zone. The Bengals were, and Myles Garrett got 2 sacks in 2 snaps, right back to back. Not even a drive after drive. It was 2 back-to-back snaps. He got 2 sacks in a row. That cannot
And
happen.
lit up Joe Burrow and he lit up Joe Burrow to the point where I was sitting on my couch in my living room, and I was like, is Joe Burrow gonna get up from that? Honestly.
Yeah, dude, literally. Myles Garrett's scary. He'll literally pile drive you if he wants to.
The man literally for Halloween has a graveyard of quarterbacks he sacks during Halloween. So that's he's probably gonna add some tombstones, this year, honestly, in his front yard of his house.
Yeah. Dude, that guy is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
All right. So what's your pick for this game?
So I've got to go Bengals here. I think they'll figure it out this week. And even though that Packers Jaguars is good, I think Jamar Chase and T. Higgins will get going. I think this might be a high scoring game. It might be a little bit of a shootout. Trevor Lawrence got to throw accurately though. If they want to stay in this game, especially if it's high scoring. So I'm gonna go to Bengals here. I'm gonna say 30-27.
Yep. And just a side note, I kind of low key, I hope they do it during the game of Travis Hunter versus Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I seen a post of that. And I was like, he might not even play defense. So I think he barely played any snaps. I think he played like 2 snaps. I don't think they even used him on defense.
And one of the snaps he got juked, and then he got a tackle in week 1. That was
Oh man, dude, he's gonna get cooked if he's lined up 1-on-1 against Jamar Chase. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Or next game.
Oh man, yeah. All right, next up we got Browns and Ravens. Chase will have
Ooh.
him in a blender. Yeah, exactly. Lead.
All right.
Chase is gonna destroy him if Travis Hunter ever snaps in front of him. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that'd be
I hope.
funny
I
to
hope he
watch though.
does.
That'd be funny.
I hope the call. I hope the play call on defense is Travis Hunter presses Jamar Chase. Honestly, that would be amazing.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Next game, Browns and Ravens. We'll
All
go
right.
back. We'll start with you now. So we'll go back and forth.
All right. Browns versus Ravens. Great matchup. Lamar Jackson, MVP versus Super Bowl champ Joe Flacco. So I honestly think, the Ravens defense, obviously going up against the Bills week 1 and, miracle Josh Allen. It's Josh Allen. That was an amazing game to watch.
Unfortunately, he's in your division.
But yeah, fortunately, he's in my division. But yeah, we'll get to that. But basically, I think, the Ravens did play decent against Buffalo, even though it was literally a 1-score game, going back to back touchdowns and scoring. And the way, like Tesh said, when the Browns played the Bengals, Joe Flacco was finding his targets. He was finding his tight ends. His tight ends were, Njoku and the rookie Harold Finn. And
You're right.
and basically, yeah, he was
Good
just finding his
call.
tight.
I see you.
Yeah. What?
I see you. I didn't say. I wasn't sure if you were gonna say Harold Fannin or not. Good job.
Oh
You're
yeah.
doing the homework.
Oh yeah.
Doing your
Yeah.
homework.
So basically, I got that Sunday ticket. Like, come on.
Yeah, you do.
So I can watch 4 games at once, so I know everybody now.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, Joe Flacco, very smart quarterback. He's finding his tight ends most of the game. Cedric Tillman was pretty decent. But Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. I have a weird feeling that Rashad Bateman is going to have a big game this week. That's just my thing. Derrick Henry is going to have a very fun time against Myles Garrett. So that's going to be very fun to watch, honestly. I feel like Myles Garrett's just drooling to, line up and meet with Derrick Henry. So yeah, I'm not going to go for my pick yet because I kind of want to hear what you want to say, but I already have my pick. But I think it's going to be a great game. It's going to be very strategic, I think.
Yeah, elite. But did you see what Jerry Judy said? So they asked Jerry Judy about the Ravens cornerbacks about how good that Ravens defense is, and then Jerry Judy was just like, no challenge at all. And yeah, so the Bengals, the Ravens defense heard that was like, okay, we'll see what happens, basically.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
Elite said, hope Derrick Henry stiff arms Garrett to the next century.
Yeah, me too. That would be amazing to watch Myles Garrett, 6'5", 275 pounds of just pure muscle, just get absolutely put into the ground by Derrick Henry. That would be an amazing clip to have. But for Jerry Judy, I would say Jerry Judy. Tesh, you could probably agree with me. I would say he's at least a top 20 wide receiver, right?
Yeah, he was really good last year.
Yeah, so I say he's like in the top 20. But when you have, Kyle Hamilton that's been playing pretty decent, and then you have Jari Alexander, another veteran safety or corner, sorry. And it's probably going to be Jari and on Jerry Judy most of the night tomorrow. That's probably going to shut up Jerry Judy after the game, honestly.
Yeah, the defense for some reason apparently was like, I forgot exactly who it was. I think it was someone on their defense. They were like, oh yeah, Derrick Henry's not hard to tackle at all. So yeah, I mean, you just can't go out and trash talk. I know it's your division rival, but you can't just go out and trash talk them. You don't give them a spark when they don't need one. I mean, they're already upset over a 1-point miracle loss to the Bills. Don't give them any spark. You don't need to give him anything. Now I'm just here thinking before that even happened, it was like, oh, the Browns can play really good defensively if they can cover, if they contain Lamar like the Packers did Shane Daniels, they might have a shot. The only problem is Joe Flacco last week, all he was doing was checking it down. And you can't win
Yep.
football games like that. I mean, yeah, you got close because of your defense, but literally every play he had, I know he had like over 250 yards, but all of that was just checkdowns. He got lucky. His tight end Harold Fanning was a monster, and he got 8
Yeah.
catches. Insane. Yeah. So all he did, Joe Flacco, was the checkdowns, and he's not gonna be able to do it this game. That Ravens defense is feisty, and you're gonna have to find Jerry Judy. You're gonna have to find your receivers in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go Ravens here. They gotta look. They're gonna be fired up to play this game, and I think there's a chance they might blow them out. Even though I think this Browns defense is really good. Grant Delpit said that. Yeah. Oh my God. Good luck, Grant Delpit. When Derrick Henry comes in the secondary, oh God, good luck.
You're done.
I want to see him truck Grant Delpit now. That would be amazing. But yeah, this Browns defense is really good. So Lamar is gonna do his thing. Derrick Henry has to have a good game. I just need to see Joe Flacco, if they want a chance in this game, he has to throw the ball more than 20 yards down the field, or at least 10 yards down the field, to be able to have a fighting chance. And their running game situation, they were not able to run the ball that well last week. So they need to get better in run blocking. They need to get wide open gaps for the running back. Throwing forward did nothing. Dylan Sampson actually got a lot of catches as a running back, so look for him. He might be getting a lot more snaps. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to go with the Ravens here. I think they're gonna win 20-10. I think they're not gonna go. It's not gonna be too high scoring just because the Browns defense is good. So I'm gonna have to go with the Ravens though, 20-10.
Yep, I totally agree. I'm definitely going to go with the Ravens, but I think it's going to be a little closer of a game. So I actually put it at the Ravens 27, Browns 17.
You're a 10-point game too.
It's still a 10-point game,
Yeah.
but
you said a little closer.
a little higher
And you
scoring.
just said 10-point.
Yeah, a little higher scoring.
Yeah, that might get an extra rushing touchdown from Derrick Henry at the end.
Yeah.
In garbage time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Lee. That's what I want to do. Everyone on Baltimore needs to just push everyone out of the way and not touch Delpit, so that way Henry can just 1-1-1 him. That'd be funny to see.
Everyone literally part C's just so it can be Derrick Henry versus Delpit,
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the Bills and the Jets. Julio's divisional foes. Don't worry, I'll start for you. So Bills and the Jets. Justin Fields looked really good last week. I was amazed how accurate he was to Garrett Wilson. Him and Garrett Wilson have a connection that even Aaron Rodgers didn't have with him. It's unfortunate how they lost. They lost a shootout last week. In a situation where he really they could have won that game. At the very end of the drive, Garrett Wilson got it smacked. On fourth down, he got smacked on a little kind of like a curl route. He got
by Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, exactly. He got smacked by Jalen Ramsey and unfortunately dropped the ball. Otherwise, they probably would have been in field goal range and probably would have won that game last week. I know you're excited about A-Rod Elite. A-Rod looked like prime A-Rod last week. We'll get to the Steelers. I'm sure that game's coming up. We'll get to him. I know you're excited about him, Elite. But Justin Fields looked amazing, especially rushing. Look, we have all these great quarterbacks running the ball. Jane Daniels, Lamar Jackson. I'm missing a couple probably, but look, nobody can do what Justin Fields can. It's actually amazing to me how he's able to get out of the pocket when guys like Lamar Jackson and Jane Daniels can't. And he's a bigger quarterback too. He's not as like skinny as Lamar or Jane Daniels. He's not as loose as them or slivery. But apparently it works out for him because he can be slivery and he can get out of the pocket when he needs to. I'm just amazed how accurate he was to all his receivers. Garrett Wilson being his main target. And Breece Hall needs to get going next week if they want a chance in this game. I think this game is going to be close. And then Josh Allen. I could talk about Josh Allen all day. Uh, look,
Yep.
their defense has got to figure stuff out, of course, but they were getting beat down by the Ravens last week. Every time Josh Allen scored after they were down 2 possessions, the Ravens would just score again, making it a 2 possession game. And somehow they got a turnover on Derrick Henry, who almost never fumbles. That guy never fumbles, and they were able to tie that game up. Josh Allen was almost perfect that game, like literally throwing bullets to everybody on the field, and somehow they went down the field and won by a field goal, literally at the end of the game. Josh Allen is gonna have to do his thing. This is gonna be another high scoring game, I believe. And Josh Allen's gonna have to do it if his defense can't. Um, I'll let you go. I'm not gonna give my score yet. I'll do it after. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be super quick with this. Bills, Jets, obviously my division rivals. Um, like, I won't repeat so much that Tesh said, but yeah, Justin Fields looked amazing. That connection to Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, is pretty much an elite wide receiver. He's got his quarterback now. Justin Fields, running out the pocket. He's a great scrambling quarterback. Brees Hall, just like Pritesh said, needs to definitely step up this game. I don't know if we'll see the downfall of Brees Hall this year. We definitely will see. And also like Pritesh said, we could talk about Josh Allen. Bill's defense definitely does need to step up. But honestly, I don't know. That was, week one, Aaron Rodgers going back to MetLife Stadium. He was pumped up to play against his former team, and that was definitely Aaron Rodgers' game to win. Jets definitely could have won that one week one, but it was Aaron Rodgers. But honestly, for the Bills, James Cook looked pretty decent. Keon Coleman was, I think he had a pretty stellar game. And honestly, I'm going to give you my pick. I think I think it's going to be a closer game than we think. So I'm going to go Bills 20, Jets 17. Actually,
That's okay. I like it.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. Elite Fields is so fast, dude. I don't know how. He's one of the best, if not the best, rushing quarterback right now.
And Joey Bosa has to step up too.
Yeah, you can't just. I mean, he got some pressures, but you have to be able to you have to be able to sack Lamar, and I do get Lamar is so tough to get down, but you got to be able to contain him.
Yep. And
Yeah,
you're going up against a similar, I wouldn't say similar quarterback, but I mean like similar quarterback in like, being able to juke you out of the pocket and be able to outrun you. So Joey Bosa has definitely got to come up with a plan to contain them more and to chase them down a lot. If the Bills want to if Joey Bosa wants to be successful in leading the Bills defense in pressuring Justin Fields this week, honestly.
yeah. You play against Mahomes, you should know how to contain quarterbacks at this point.
Yeah.
Mahomes isn't
Oh, yeah.
Lamar, but still, he is kind of a little bit shifty with his legs sometimes when he needs to be.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a close game. Justin Fields needs to show he can do it again. Be accurate with the football. He needs to keep proving he can be consistent with that. And I don't know if he can. He's got to show it week in and week out. The game one looked really good just based on how he's improved throughout these last 4 years. So I'm excited to see Justin Fields. This could be a game of the week kind of game early. So it's gonna be a fun one. But I'm gonna have to take the Bills here. I trust Josh Allen a little more, even though uh, this could get really really close to a point where one turnover could lose the game for either team. I'm gonna go to Bills here. I'm gonna go 33 to 30.
Wow. Yep. Close game. Yep. Yep.
All right, now I'll let you start off with your team, Julio. Next up, we got the Patriots and the Dolphins.
All right. I'll make this quick. Pick Patriots game score 50-3. Protest your next one. Just kidding. All right. So honestly, Dolphins got absolutely embarrassed by the Indianapolis Colts and not Jay Daniels, Daniel Jones, week 1. It was kind of awesome to watch the Dolphins always, they choke, usually they choke end of the season, and not make the playoffs. But they just absolutely just got roasted by the Indianapolis Colts week 1. And injury report wise for the Patriots this week, pretty sure that Christian Gonzalez is out again due to his hamstring still, which he needs to get that figured out, man. Like, honestly, because we need him pretty bad. Because obviously we got rid of Jabril Peppers. He went somewhere. But honestly, I think our defensive line is Eagles, which he's one again. Lines for 1 year, Dolphins here only Tyreek to see how our defense, is going to go. And,
1 second, your camera's kind of froze now.
Hold on.
All right,
Are you back now?
Funny you say that in the background. They're previewing Dolphins Patriots.
All right. So basically, honestly, we're just gonna have to really rely on our defensive line here, and hopefully our linebackers, because Tua, the Dolphins love to bring Tyreek Hill in those quick slants in the middle, and then gain of 15 to 30 yards. So hopefully our linebackers can settle down in the middle, definitely contain Devon Achane, and hopefully bring pressure to Tua, and possibly give him another concussion. So yeah.
You keep going if you want.
No, you're good. I want to hear your opinion now.
Wow. Well,
this is make or break it for our best friendship. So be careful what you say.
The Patriots are so trash, man. I'm just kidding.
Young Wei Koo is terrible. Julio Jones was like 99 out of 100 quarterback. Yeah, we can keep going. All right, next. All right, go.
Julio Jones didn't play. He retired a couple years ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
But
he went to the Titans. That's how trash it was. Okay.
Yeah, well, we don't talk about Julio Jones not on the Falcons, so
yeah,
because he didn't do anything.
And then he went to the Eagles,
and then the Bucs, and somehow he got a 2-touchdown game.
Yeah.
But right. Miami got destroyed last week. I don't know how they're gonna fix that. They've lost the locker room, and apparently this week they had a players only meeting, which is never a good sign if you're in the first week of the football season and you're having a players only meeting to discuss your team.
Yeah.
I mean, that just screams desperation, screams you coaches don't know what they're doing. Like, honestly, if you have to have a players only meeting without your head coach, I don't know if the head coach is in it, so I can't say. But if you have to have a players only meeting, things are bad, and it's only September. Like, the Dolphins are a shambles right now. I just gotta say, they played so bad last week. Tua played so bad. Tyreek Hill played bad. Waddle got hurt again for like the 100th time. The run game, Devon Achane couldn't get anything going except that one catch he got for a touchdown. Yeah, yippee for you, garbage time touchdown. I just don't know how to. I mean, the only thing going for them is that the Patriots' one game was really, really bad last week. They could not get anything going against defense that they should have been able to run the ball all over. I'd give the Raiders credits, I guess, but their defense is not built to stop the run. They're built to play more zone coverage and built to kind of stop the receivers and tight ends ish. But the Patriots need to be able to run the ball to help Drake May. If you can't give Drake May help and you're stuck in a passing situation, and that offense would be so predictable.
Yep.
Their defense can play well. You just can't just let no name receivers catch balls over your head. First of all, you can't let Jacoby Myers moss you a couple times. Especially, I know Christian Gonzalez is out, but as a defense, you got to play more sound than that. And they did a good job on Gianti, actually, except the touchdown he got. But Gianti really didn't do too much. So the run game was good. Run defense was good. But their pass defense was awful. They let Geno Smith throw for 350 plus yards in his first game as a Raider.
Our first half looked really good, quarterback pressure wise against Geno. It looked pretty promising. Wishing they kept that the rest of the game. Drake May for the offense, definitely I'm really hoping they take Antonio Gibson, they put him at RB3, they, Ramondre 1, Travion Henderson number 2. I'm really hoping that happens this week. Will Campbell looked pretty decent. He pretty much got the respect of Max Crosby after the game. Will Campbell said that Crosby went up to him and basically, just gave him kudos and respect. Crosby, I believe, allowed 2 sacks against the Rams, which is Raiders, which is not bad when you're going up against Max Crosby, Pro Bowl, top 10 pass rusher in the league. So I give Will Campbell that. Our first round pick was played pretty decent. Our offense, obviously we don't have the elite receivers. We have Stephon Diggs, which he's leading the wide receiver room. Kayshon Boutte, he had some nice catches that game. So I'm just hoping that our offense clicks more. Our run game definitely clicks more. And then our defense just gets ready for Tyreek Hill, honestly. And giving pressure to Tua. But I'm going to give my pick here. I'm going to go New England Patriots winning. I'm going to give it 17. Actually, no. I'm going to go 21-17 New England Patriots.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Talking about Will Campbell, he didn't have his greatest game, and after the game, he even said that. He said that he needs to be better as a blocker, but it is his first game, so as a rookie, he did what he could, but your whole offense as a group has to play better than that. Drake May got pressured a lot last week, and where he forced him to move out of the pocket a lot, which he can be good with his legs, but the Raiders did not let that happen last week. No. And especially it goes back to the running game. You're going to be predictable in passing situations, especially if you can't run the ball. And Diggs cannot have such a low, not low light, but like he just can't be there and run routes. You have to be. That team is looking for a wide receiver to carry the offense, and you can't be there not getting separation on the receivers, and getting your first catch in almost the third quarter. He had a catch in the second quarter, but I think it was late in the game, right? It was late in the game. Quarter, his first catch.
Yeah, it was late in the game. Lead receiver was, I believe, Hunter Henry.
That cannot happen. Oh yeah, talking about the Patriots as well, real quick. They just traded Jalen Polk, who's not playing this year, for a sixth round pick. Yeah, they didn't really give him a chance either, unfortunately. Which he could have been a good slot receiver, I think, but they didn't really give him a chance. I think that was one guy that you actually drafted right, but he just didn't get a chance because he got injured.
So basically all of our 3 main receivers, we got the leader, which is Stephon Diggs, and then we got the rookie from last year, Kayshon Boutte, And then we have Demario, Demario Douglas, which I think he might be, a standout, hopefully the leading receiver for the Patriots this year.
There was a big positive in Keishon Boutte last week. I think he had 7 to 8 catches last week. Drake May
Yeah.
was finding him. It seemed like his favorite target last week. But I
Yeah.
need Diggs to play a lot better. This one is really tough for me to pick because it could go either way because the Dolphins could just, they have the talent to where they could just snap a finger and turn it back on again if they get in sync. Um, so here this is probably the hardest game I'd had to pick this week, or one of the hardest. But I'm gonna go. Just how bad the Dolphins looked last week, I can't trust them right now until they show me I can trust them. I'm gonna go to Dolphin. I'm gonna go to Patriots. 23-20. I think it might be close, but if the Dolphins get blown out again this week, Mike McDaniel's gonna be fired next week. They can't put
I
that
was about to
performance out
end the
again.
call so fast.
Oh man. None of these teams want to start 0-2.
Yeah.
All right, next up we got 49ers and Saints.
All right. So basically, everyone's heard the news. George Kittle's on IR. He's out for like 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks. Now we heard Purdy's out. Purdy's out with a toe injury. Like, come on, dude, you're wearing shoes. Who gets a toe injury and still doesn't play? Like, come on. But
it's kind of it's turf toe. That's really
it's okay. It's whatever. Really you just wrap it up and you keep going. Like,
I don't think it works like that.
Yeah, it's NFL politics, so it's fine. He's out. Purdy's out for 3 to 5 weeks now. So we got my ex-boy, Mac Attack, Mac and Cheese, Mac Jones coming in as a starting quarterback.
Oh my god.
Mac Jones is a playoff quarterback, right? Lost to the Bills twice in a row. We won't talk about it. Mac Jones went to the playoffs his rookie season with the Patriots. But now he's a backup and now a starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. Honestly, going up against the Saints, Pratesh loves the Saints. He even gave them their own nickname called the Aints, which great name, by the way.
I do love that name over there.
Yeah, we do like that name. But honestly, what's to really talk about good about the Saints, honestly? Chris Olave is pretty trash. Spencer Rattler, he's a quarterback. But honestly, I think this should be a quick decision. I'm probably going to go with the 49ers because I think Christian McCaffrey, they're going to rely on McCaffrey a lot. And, honestly, I think McCaffrey's going to get pretty much the huge workload of the game unless Mac Jones, becomes Tom Brady during that game. But which will not happen. So I'm going to go 49ers. I'm going to go 17 Niners and Saints 7.
I like how you said everything I should have said I should say about the Saints.
Yeah, I got that for you.
Losing Brock Purdy is kind of huge. Fortunately for them, it's early in the season, and they play the Saints this week. That's really fortunate for them. But also losing George Kittle out there, that hurts a lot too. Their backup tight end got a touchdown catch last week, an unbelievable touchdown catch for that matter.
Yeah,
and they're gonna. Julio said it. They're gonna have to rely on Christian McCaffrey and Brian Robinson Jr. Mac Jones is gonna have to play smart veteran football. That's what he's gonna do to win this game. The Saints last week, their pressure can get there, so they've got to protect Mac Jones here. 49ers do. And defensively, their coverage can be good. Kula McKinstry can be good. And Spencer Rattler, he actually played better than I thought he was ever going to play.
That's what I thought too. Honestly, I thought, honestly, I thought, I probably predicted that he was gonna get the starter job, which he definitely deserved, and he basically did show it, in week 1. I believe.
Yeah, and look, he had a drive to try to go and win that game. They were literally at the 15-yard line, and they could have won that game if not for their mistakes that they made. I mean, Spencer Rattler was off a little bit. I mean, he's not perfect. He's not gonna be. He wasn't perfect, of course, because he's a saint. But Alvin Kamara needs to do. He's getting older. He had a decent game last week. I don't. I think he got a touchdown, right? I don't believe.
Uh,
I think he got one touchdown. I don't think he got touchdown actually.
no, I don't
Uh,
think he got a touch.
yeah. They need their run game to work a little better. I think last week Arizona kind of shut down Aaron Kamara a little bit. Uh, and Spencer Rattler's got to find his receivers more. Chris Olave can't get hurt. Um, and then he found his tight end a lot, Juwan Johnson. That was
Yeah,
their top receiver. And anytime your tight end's your top receiver, you're not having a good day. But luckily they were able to keep it close. The Niners, on the other hand, they were in another close battle against Seahawks. Brock Purdy didn't have his best game, but he made some good throws. Sometimes he forced the ball, but now he's out. Mac Jones is gonna have to take over. The 49ers have to get Christian McCaffrey going, and Mac Jones got to play good football, and that's how they win this game. I'm gonna have to take the 49ers here. I'm gonna take them 20 to 7.
yeah. We're I think it might be a lot of close games this weekend. It might be
Yeah.
another good weekend of football, honestly.
Yeah, week 1 was really good in close games always.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got the Giants at the Cowboys.
Oof. Yeah, you can start this one.
Yeah, so we all saw what the Cowboys did in the kickoff game last week, week before, on Thursday night kickoff. Um, so we know the offense can be good. Their defense has got to complement that offense. And also, CeeDee Lamb, I doubt he's going to drop as many balls as he did. They were in position to go win this game and beat the Eagles. Um, which goes a lot to show about the offense. They could be really explosive this year, especially with CeeDee Lamb, just dominating people. Their run game apparently, it wasn't. If you look at the stats, the yards weren't crazy, but they used Javonte Williams as he should be in goal line situations, and he got 2 touchdowns, which was a good day for him. The Giants, they look horrible. Going against Washington, Washington wasn't able to fully blow them out, but their offense was non-existent. You can't you can't go out there and have Malik Neighbors as your wide receiver 1 and only give him 4 or 5 targets. That just can't
Yeah.
happen. I mean, you got to be able to hold Russell Wilson in the pocket. You got to be able to protect him, which was the biggest issue with the Giants. Their offensive line is horrible, and they can't protect anyone to save their life. With Russell Wilson, every snap, he was fighting for his life trying to find an open receiver. Robinson did get involved a lot, which I did like from that offense. It's just they were just non-existent because of the offensive line. If they could protect Russ just a little bit, they can actually score some points.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Cam Scatterboo, is definitely a good running back. A good, you know, go down the throat, straight line running back. He wants to get physical. So I think, the Giants want to win this game. It's like you said, they got to protect Russ. They got to get Malik Neighbors involved. They can't just go to their wide receiver 2, Wandell. And honestly, the Cowboys offense looked pretty decent. Dak, when they were when they were talking with the Thursday night kickoff, Dak definitely did look a little bit more shredded. He definitely lost some weight, gained a little bit of muscle. He probably looks like they were saying, he looks like his best athletic self since he was drafted, from 2017. So, Dak going into this game should be an easy bet, easy money line, easy win for the Cowboys. Especially Javonte Williams. Like Pritesh said, he had a pretty good, good stats game, 2 rushing touchdowns against the Eagles. So honestly, if CD Lamb plays well, if Dak plays well, if Javonte Williams plays well, and they can pressure Russell Wilson like the Commanders did, I'm gonna take Cowboys 30 to Giants 20.
Yeah, the thing that's keeping Giants in these games is their pass rush, and their defense played actually pretty decent against Jane Daniels last week. Their pass rush is their strength, and they were getting pressure on Jane Daniels, even though they were kind of almost getting blown out. They were able to keep Giants in that game. Their offense couldn't do anything, so they lost. But that
Yep.
defense is insane. I mean, having Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, and Thibodeau on that line all at the same time, that's just a nightmare for any
And
offensive line.
And Dexter Lawrence.
Dexter Lawrence, sexy Dexy.
Yep. DD.
That is that is such an amazing defensive line that the offense needs to score some points. They can win some games with that defense.
Yep.
The Cowboys got some pressure against Jalen Hurts more than I thought they would without Micah Parsons. So that was a nice surprise. Kenny Clark actually got pressure on Jalen Hurts last week. So they're gonna have to do it again against a bad O-line, and I think they will. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys here. They're gonna win it 27-17.
Yep, another decent close game.
Bears at the Lions.
Oof. All right, I'll start this one off. So Lions did not have a good start last week. I just don't know what happened with the Lions last week. Honestly, Amon-Ra, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, J-Mo. I don't know what happened last week. Honestly, and the Bears going up against JJ McCarthy and that Vikings team was it was a great game to watch. And honestly, I don't know. This might be a decent comeback year for Caleb Williams. He looks decent. He looks pretty athletic. And I don't know, Tesh, like when I was watching that game against the Vikings, Caleb Williams, I did not know he was that fast. He was just running out of the pocket, running away from defenders, running away from linebackers, and just zooming past them like he was Tyreek Hill. I don't know if you noticed that either, but I did not know he was that fast.
Yeah, Caleb Williams showed out with his legs last week. It's unfortunate because he at the first half he was looking decent. They just couldn't keep drives together. And Caleb Williams, as the game progressed, you're supposed to get better. As the game progressed, he kept missing throws he should have made. I mean, he has the arm talent for it, and it's just easy games that he should make. Easy throws on the corners and sidelines they should make. Take over real quick, Julio. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, and just talk about real quick, with the Bears and Vikings, DeAndre Swift, definitely was getting stuffed up by the Vikings defensive line. Defensive line was pretty nasty against the Bears. DJ Moore should have been involved a little bit more. Rome was involved pretty decent. DJ Moore was involved pretty decent. So Caleb Williams was kind of spreading the ball here and there. Vikings defense definitely took over. But going against the Lions, Lions defense, obviously they lost Carlton Davis, but Aiden Hutchinson is back. And honestly, I think Aiden Hutchinson is going to give Caleb Williams, probably try and take his lunch money. Honestly, I think the Lions are going to go into this game redemption from week 1. And I'm probably going to go with the Lions 30 and the Bears 21. Tesh, are you back? He's not back. So I'll talk a little bit more. So my reason for, honestly, the Lions, going into this game from week one, Caleb Williams, like Pratesh said, should have, he degressed when during the game against the Vikings. So, he definitely, rolled his eyes a lot. He definitely, kept looking up at the jumbotron after some throws, and he definitely showed his expression of like, how did I miss that? And Loveland, the rookie tight end for the Bears, looked pretty decent. He looked almost like a wide receiver with his speed, and honestly, I'm a fan of Loveland. I think he's going to do really good things this year. I don't think he got a touchdown against the Vikings. But that game was really good. I'm just hoping Aaron Jones shows out
I'll be back in
because
just a second.
Huh? Pritesh, are you back? Okay, he's still not back. So I'm just hoping Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason, we'll talk about that a little bit. Hopefully Aaron Jones, I have him in fantasy. I can't see the chat, so if you have any questions, I'm sorry. Maybe Pratesh will read them when he gets back. I have Aaron Jones in fantasy, so hopefully he shows out and stays the RB1 for Minnesota. I also have Jahmyr Gibbs in like one or two of my fantasies. So hopefully he keeps just showing out and everything. I don't have Amonra in any of my fantasies, so that's okay. Who else? I'm trying to think. I think I have the Lions defense in one of my fantasies. I do have Loveland in one of them. I have DJ Moore in another one. So yeah, I'm hoping some of these guys actually do show out and everything like that. But yeah, honestly, my pick, I'm gonna go with the Lions. What did I say? 30 to probably give the Bears 20. Forgive the Lions to win real quick. And I apologize for Pratesh not being here at all. I wish I could see your guys' chat. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see. Here we go. There we go. Okay, I can see your guys' chat now. So you got any questions, Lee? I can kind of answer. There we go. All right, we're going to take a quick intermission.
Oh, I'm back. So we were week 2. What are you talking about, Julio?
I talked about the whole game already, and basically, so I already gave
Okay.
my pick. Lions 30, Bears 20.
Okay.
I talked about Caleb Williams against the Vikings last week. I talked about the Lions from last week already. Aiden Hutchinson is back now. So yeah.
Yeah, the Lions did not look good last week. The Packers beat
Uh,
down on them really bad. I just saw no life out of them, especially with the coordinators gone, with Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn gone. There's no no fight in them week one, and it's only week one, so I expect them to bounce back. And the Bears look bad. I need them to clean that up before I can trust them. Honestly, so I'm gonna take the Lions. I think that Dan Campbell has proven himself again and again and again and again. I think that offense is gonna click this week, and I think you're gonna see a lot of scoring from Jameer Gibbs and Amonra. I think they're both gonna score. So
we'll take that in
Lions,
fantasy.
pick the Lions 30-15. Okay,
There we go. All right, what do we got for next?
Never mind, I'm here. All right, so next up we got DK Metcalf's return to Seattle. Seahawks at Steelers. Well, not Seattle, but DK's return.
DK's return, Seahawks and Steelers. Oof. I think this is going to be.
So you can have a break.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You
probably were talking for a hot second.
Oh, yeah.
So the Steelers offensively looked amazing. Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdown passes, looking like prime Aaron Rodgers. So, I mean, they were in a shootout. Steelers don't usually get into shootouts. I mean, that's not how the team's built, but it's good that they were able to stay in in a shootout. That's actually insane.
Yeah.
The Steelers defense should have played a lot better last week. That's not a Steelers defense I am recognizing, allowing 31 points. That's just unheard of for a Steelers defense, and not where they want to be, of course. But it is encouraging to see Aaron Rodgers being able to go score 34 points a game, especially when the last year in New York he couldn't really score more than 20 points a game, which is never a good sign. He barely could make it 22. He was like scoring 15 points, 15, 17 points.
Yep.
So in this game, he's going to get Sam Darnold, who's just had his first career start as a Seattle Seahawk. JSN is his main target. He had 9 catches for 100 and some yards. So he was proven himself to be wide receiver 1 for Seattle. Cooper Kupp did not do much, which I was surprised about. I feel like he's going to get going this week. The Steelers defensively need to get their pass rush going, and they need to tighten up. They cannot allow what they did against Justin Fields to Sam Darnold, because if Sam Darnold gets going, you saw what he did last year with the Vikings with an even better offense. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers, what he's doing with the Steelers is just, what he needs to do, and he is showing that, what Aaron Rodgers can do, which is crazy, that you mentioned that he could barely get past 20 points in a game when he was with the Jets last year. And it was just like, Justin Fields has basically the same offense and what he can do that Aaron Rodgers couldn't. But now Aaron Rodgers stepping into the Steelers position with DK Metcalf, and that honestly, I'm happy for Aaron Rodgers. He looks like he's happy where he's at now. Who knows if this is his last year? So we'll see what he does. But Steelers, Seahawks look pretty decent. I'm excited for Sam Darnold to kind of show out with the Seahawks this year. It's like Tesh, you said, what he did with, Jordan Addison and JJ McCarthy last year. He showed out. So I'm. This is going to be a really, really good game. Seattle's defense is pretty decent. Steelers defense, defensive line needs to step up. Jalen Ramsey played his heart out against the Jets last week, and I think he's going to do the same thing. It's going to be DK versus Jalen Ramsey this year or tomorrow, and that's going to be a great matchup.
Oh, well, they're on the same team, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
You're good.
I'm mixing
they
things
go against
up
each
because
other
it's
in
weird.
practice.
It's weird
so
now.
good.
Okay. Yeah, it's weird now. So basically, it's probably going to be Jalen Ramsey probably going up against either Cooper Cup or JSN, and those are going to be good matchups. I
so
think.
Weird. A lot of shakeups. So weird. I think
Yeah.
Seattle Cooper Cup going against Steeler Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, it's weird. So I think Cooper Cup might step it up this week. JSN, if he just keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to be the leading receiver in Seattle. Kenneth Walker, that run, Seattle's run definitely needs to step up. Kenneth Walker needs to step up. Zach Charbonnet looks like he can surpass Kenneth Walker to be RB1. We'll definitely see how the season goes. Man, this is a very hard game. This is a very hard matchup to call. I think I'm going to give it to the Steelers. I think I'm going to do Steelers 20 and Seattle 17. I think Chris Boswell kicks the game-winning field goal.
Yeah, that's Seahawks defense. They're young, and they've been getting better each year, and they have a lot of pieces there that they can play. And adding DeMarcus Lawrence to that defensive line is really good for them. They needed that pass rush bad. Um, who's their coach now? Is it Mike
They needed
McDonald?
that
Mike
veteran.
McDonald, is that his name, right?
Mike.
McDonald, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. McDonald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, they played tough against the 49ers last week, and their defense was able to get 2 interceptions on Brock Purdy, which realistically they should win them the game. But unfortunately, it didn't. They won the turnover battle and didn't win. Aaron Rodgers looks like himself, and it's going to be tough if they can score 34 points against any team, especially if their defense starts getting their stuff together and being like a regular Steelers defense. I'm going to take the Steelers here. I just think Aaron Rodgers is more ready and a more complete team than Sam Darnold is. Sam Darnold probably needs another few weeks to get acclimated to his new system. So I'm going to go Steelers 27-20.
Close game. Yeah.
It probably will be a close game. Next up, we got a good one: Broncos and Colts.
Can the Colts do what they did last week against the Giants? It's very questionable. Very questionable. I think Broncos defense, and this is at Indy, correct?
Yeah, it's in Indy.
Yeah, it's at Indy. Daniel Jones playing at home for the first time.
They played Indy last week.
They played Indy last week. Yeah, so he's definitely got something to prove. For what he did against the Giants last week. But you're going up against really, really good Broncos defense this week, and Bo Nix was he was mediocre against the Titans last week. Oh man, this is going to be tough. Wow.
Yeah, the Broncos are really good defensively. And the Colts, they shut down Miami. I mean, it's never easy to shut down speedsters like Tyreek Hill and Waddle. And Tua just played horrible last week. I know that. But the Colts, they showed they can score offensively. Like Daniel Jones, the stat that I threw out on Tuesday as well, I'll bring it back up. He's the first quarterback ever in recorded history to score in every single possession he had.
Yeah.
So that's actually insane to me. How well he played. He threw the ball accurately. He threw the ball on time. Had the running game to rely on too, because Jonathan Taylor did his job. Um, the Broncos are gonna have to cover. I'm gonna have to cover a deep ball threat now, Alec Pierce, which he doesn't get many receptions a game, but he's an absolute beast if he's going deep.
Yep.
And then Michael Pittman had a game last week too. So the Broncos, they're really good defensively. This is going to be a big, real test for Daniel Jones. This is going to show if he's actually will do what he will be good this season. It's going to show the Colts a lot about what they're going to be getting from Daniel Jones against a really good defense.
If Daniel Jones uses all of his targets, if he uses Alec Pierce, if he uses Michael Pittman, if he uses Adonai Mitchell,
Tyler Warren went off last week.
Yeah, and Tyler Warren, the rookie tight end from Penn State this year, and he went off. If he goes off again, the defense, like Pritesh said, is Broncos defense is definitely in for a test. They got to watch for the deep ball. They got to watch for the middle. They got to watch for Tyler Warren because Tyler Warren's a fast. He's he's young and everything, but he's a pretty agile tight end. And Daniel Jones definitely proved, if he can definitely use all of his targets against the Broncos defense, he might sliver in with this win. But if Bo Nix uses all of his targets, it might be a really, really close game. Man, I don't know. You give your pick first. I'm still thinking.
So, man, this game's gonna be interesting. Are we gonna get the same Daniel Jones that was in Week 1, or are we gonna get Daniel Jones that we've known on the Giants? This year, he has protection. It should help him, but the Broncos are really, really good. Nick Bonito is gonna come in blitz schemes as well, so that's gonna be something Daniel Jones has to look out for. And Jonathan Taylor's gonna go off again against this really stingy Broncos defense. The Colts have the weapons to do it though. And then on the Broncos side, Bo Nix, he's gonna have a better week too. I believe he will. He looked off Week 1, but it is Week 1, so I mean he's still getting acclimated. It's only his second year, so he should calm down a little bit, and I expect to see a really good performance from Bo Nix. I'm gonna take the Broncos here. I like them right now. I like what their defense is doing. I think they're going to confuse Daniel Jones a little bit. You will see his first interception this week. Broncos are going to win it. I'd say it's going to be 20-13.
I want to agree with you, but I think I'm going to go with the upset, and I think Daniel Jones will beat the Broncos this week. Because I think he's on fire. They're at home 2 weeks in a row. Daniel Jones knows that he's got to prove to the fans and to the stadium that he, is the quarterback and not Anthony Richardson. So I think Daniel Jones is going to come on top, but it is going to be by a sliver. And I think it's going to be a pretty offensive game, which is going to be very fun to watch tomorrow. I think I'm going to go Indianapolis Colts getting the win over the Denver Broncos. Colts 27, Broncos 20. Colts 27, Broncos 20.
Yeah, the spread on this one, the line is Denver minus 1.5. So
Wow.
very, very close.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're basically picking whoever wins if you're going by spread.
Yeah.
So next up, we got something interesting. I mean, the only reason they're on a 4 o'clock games because they're West Coast and Cardinals. But we got one of the lesser matchups that people aren't excited for, but it's still going to be good. Panthers and Cardinals. This one is going to come down to Bryce Young. Will he show us what he has showed at the end of the season last season? Or he's going to be the Bryce that was in Jacksonville, missing easy throws, throwing stupid interceptions when he could just run for the first down, throwing it away on 4th down for no reason. On 4th down, he threw the ball away instead of trying to give his receivers a chance to get that 4th down. He just got to play better. The Cardinals, They played a tough one against the Saints, and they gotta protect Kyler better. I saw Kyler running for his life like always last week. Kyler's got to be more accurate with the ball too. He was throwing across the middle and sailed some balls. Even though he's short, he shouldn't be sailing balls. I know he can't see sometimes, but he's got to be accurate with the ball. You can't get away with that if you want to make a playoff push, especially in the playoffs. Um, and that run game's still good with James Conner. Trey Benson's getting a lot of carries too and snaps, and he's looking good. Cardinals defensively, they got a lot of injuries there. So that's something to look out for. Bryce Young should be able to take advantage of that defense.
Yeah, I totally agree. Obviously, the big talk last year was Marvin Harrison Jr. He did not have a stellar rookie year last year. He did have a really good game. He did get a touchdown last week. I think he is going to be a threat this year. I think he's actually getting comfortable to the NFL life and the NFL, gameplay. So I think Marvin Harrison is going to be very involved against the Panthers defense this year. Like you said, Pritesh, Kyler's got to be protected a lot more. Yeah, Kyler has the wheels, but he can't do it all game. Panthers, if Bryce Young is smart and stays protected, he can make those throws. He's proved it late last year what he can do. And he's got his new rookie this year, which, McMillan, he looks decent. He's fast. He's agile. So I think this is going to be a close game. I feel like you can go either way. But honestly, I'm going to take Cardinals here. I think it's a low-scoring game, so I think I'm going to go Cardinals 17, Panthers 7.
Yeah, Bryce Young is really loving Ted McMillan. He was the main target last week. Xavier Leggett's got to go going to be that wide receiver too. Ted probably already proved he's wide receiver 1, so he's gonna get a lot of catches. So Cardinals got to defend that. Their cornerbacks, especially rookie cornerback Will Johnson, he played really good last week against the Saints.
Yeah.
So I expect more of that. They got to cover Ted McMillan, another rookie, who actually looks as good as Chris Olave. Chris Olave isn't too crazy a wide receiver to cover due to his injury history, but man, there's gonna be a good game. If Bryce Young gets it going, it's gonna be close. Man, that Cardinals thing is they barely beat the Saints, which they should have blown out. The Cardinals, I'm gonna take the Cardinals here. It's gonna be a close game, 23-20.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good score.
You're gonna be surprised about the spread on here. Its spread is Arizona
Is it
minus almost Arizona minus 6.5.
Wow.
Yeah, so hope by a
All
whole
right.
touchdown.
Wow. Okay. I
Next
can
up,
see that.
yeah. Next up, we got one of the game of the weeks, and the last 4 o'clock game. Eagles at the Chiefs in Arrowhead, not in Philly, in Arrowhead. A Super Bowl rematch.
Super Bowl rematch from last year's Super Bowl, where the Philadelphia Eagles kind of embarrassed the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes, and this is at Arrowhead, one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL. Man. So, obviously, Eagles defense is pretty nasty. They didn't really lose that many people. Jalen Carter is confirmed to play this game. He's only getting fined, I think, like $47,000 or $50,000. For his Huck Tua on Dak Prescott week 1. So honestly, with Jalen Carter back, it brings that pressure again, that he did against Mahomes in the Super Bowl. And Mahomes, Worthy is out, dislocated shoulder. I don't think, I think he's not playing this
He's out
week.
this game, yeah.
Yeah, so I know Andy Reid said it's day by day, but he's out this week. So, and obviously Rasheed Rice still got a couple of games out. So it's going to be Hollywood Brown. That's going to be, Mahomes' main target. And then you obviously got Kelsey that's going to be out there as well. And then, the run game last week for the Chiefs, which was Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, really didn't look promising. But honestly, they're going to rely on the run a lot this week. But man, Eagles
Dallas Goddard's out this week too.
and Dallas Goddard. Oh wow. Okay. So I don't know. And the Eagles defense, against the Cowboys, Thursday night kickoff, looked pretty decent. The linebacker, what's his name? Zach Bond, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Zach Bond, he was one of the highlights of the game. His speed was really good, just tracking down the run, tracking down, open receivers. And man, I think I'm gonna go Eagles here. I think I'm gonna go Eagles. This is probably the biggest score prediction. And I think Jalen Hurts is going to ball out. AJ Brown needs a comeback game, and I think he gets it this. Sorry, I think he gets it this week. And I think this is going to be the biggest score prediction. So I think I'm going to go Eagles 42, Chiefs 35.
Holy. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mahomes here. He played good last week. His offensive line sold him against the Chargers. Xavier Worthy being out didn't help him at all. And it's unfortunate. The third play of the game, he got out. He's out. He broke his collar. He literally hurt his shoulder bad. Separated.
It was
his shoulder.
sabotaged by Travis Kelsey.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and Travis Kelsey had a few catches, had that big touchdown, but they need to get him involved more. I feel like he really did not get involved as much as he usually does. He is getting older. I understand that, but Hollywood Brown having 10 catches is a good sign for them to be able to find a wide receiver that can carry the load for them. They're gonna spread it out a lot. I mean, Hollywood Brown's gonna have to step up his game, and so does all the wide receivers on the Chiefs. I mean, you got Travis Kelsey, you got you got Travis Kelsey, you got Hollywood Brown, you got Eric Gray, I think, still on the team. And Pacheco's got to get going in the run game as well. You can't have that performance. Stats say he had 5 yards per carry, which is right, but he only had 5 carries for 20 yards. So he did almost absolutely nothing in that game. Juju's got to step up. He had 5 catches last week. Tyquan Thornton actually got a couple big catches last week, which was huge for them. Noah Gray is usually a guy that Mahomes looks to sometimes when his receivers are hurt. To go against these Eagles is going to be tough for them. They lost in the Super Bowl to the Eagles. These same Eagles, basically the same all-around team except for a few pieces. It's in Arrowhead, which makes this decision so tough. The Eagles, oh man, Jalen Hurts didn't do much passing last week. Which is their offense, they mainly ran ball. So we need to see Jalen Hurts passing the ball a little bit. Let me see what he's going to do this season. He looked off a little bit. His connection with AJ Brown, which Brown only had 1 catch, which pissed off so many people, especially in fantasy. So he needs to get the ball more. They need to find a way to get him the ball. I don't care how you do it. Give him screens. Devontae Smith should have a big game this week. The Chiefs' defense is what keeps them in this game, and they were horrible against the run. So they just need to step that up. They need to be able to defend the pass as well. Like, they were letting the Chiefs, like Quentin Johnson, score 2 touchdowns on them. Literally, Quentin Johnston, the guy who dropped every single ball he caught last year. Yeah. So this is going to be a tough one, especially since it's an Arrowhead. Arrowhead is where Mahomes lights it up. He has a really, really good record at home. I think it's I'm not even going to guess. He just has a really good record at home. Man, This is a tough one, especially. Man, it is tough to guess because it's an Arrowhead. But I think the Eagles, with the offensive line issues that Mahomes had in Week 1, I don't think it's gonna fix magically in a week. And that Eagles defensive line is really good. I'm gonna take the Eagles here. I'm gonna take them 28-21.
Yeah, honestly, I think the Eagles winning here is, obviously, in everyone's head, like it's, the Eagles are going to win because it's like you said, it's basically the same team on offense and basically defense, maybe minus like a defensive tackle, like we took Milton Williams from the Eagles. But then if you look at, the Chiefs would have had, the same offense from the Super Bowl, but they lost a couple of their main guys. So, if you look at it like teams wise, the Eagles are basically on top with who they have. But Mahomes is, if that offensive line is the same against the Chargers, Mahomes is just going to run for his life and throw miracle passes that he's going to have to really try. So, yeah, I think the Eagles is a pretty decent pick here for the win.
Yeah, Rashi Rice being out for this month, the whole month, is hurts that team a lot. They were thinking going into the season that they were gonna have Rashi Rice and Xavier Worthy and have a potent offense, but that Rashi Rice being out and then Worthy getting hurt, that really screws up their plans, which is gonna hurt them this month. There's a chance we both picked the Eagles, so there's a chance they go 0-2. That is something Mahomes has rarely. I don't think he has ever done. I don't think he's ever been 0-2. So
Nope.
it'd be new territory for him. All right, next
Yeah.
up we got the 2 Monday night games and then the Sunday night game, and we got 3 games left. Buccaneers at the Texans. First of the doubleheader on Monday night. So Buccaneers at Texans. CJ Stroud has to get better protection. I know we said that about the Giants and stuff, but that Rams defense was eating that lineup like crazy. Nico Collins has to do more offensively. That run game is non-existent, especially I know Joe Mixon being out hurts, but Nick Chubb and Dameon Pierce got to step it up against this really good Buccaneers defensive front. They only allowed 24 yards total on against the Falcons rushing with Bijan and Tyler Algier. So that goes to show they're gonna have a tough time running the ball, and they didn't even run the ball well last week. So that's gonna be a big problem for them. Baker Mayfield did not have the best passing game. He got 2 touchdown passes last week. One being over the head, over the fingertips of a cornerback of safety Xavier Watts. That should have been an interception. So he is throwing risky balls. That is what Baker's known for. He's known for taking big risk at any time in the game. Whenever, even if it's a close game, he will take that risk to make the throw. And sometimes it works out for him, like there, and sometimes it doesn't. Ibuka showed out last week, and Mike Evans showed out again. Bucky Evans got to do a little more. The run game wasn't as good as advertised last week. The Texans defense, though, they keep him in games. They're a tough group to go against. So Baker Mayfield, as much as he loves throwing tight passes, I mean, he's going to have to be careful because this pass rush is going to get to him, and they won't miss sacks. And the defense is going to be stingy, so they're going to get a pick or two on Baker if he tries to force that ball.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely, you got to watch out for guys like Derek Stingley on the Texans, which is their number one guy that you don't want to throw a bad pass to because Stingley will be on top of it. Like Pratesh said, Baker against the Falcons week 1. Great game to watch. Ibuka, the rookie, definitely, like Tesh said, showed out. I don't know if that's gonna be the case every single week. It might start to get iffy when because Chris Godwin, he's starting to get some news. I think he got some news like this past week that he did show up to practice, but he's not like fully ready yet. So yeah. I think Godwin.
Week 6, I think they're saying that he's going to be back.
Yeah, the projection for Godwin is like week 5 or 6. Then we might start to see Igbuka's role maybe start twinkling down a little bit.
Kristen
But
Wirfs is out again this week, so that's huge for them.
yeah, and honestly, Bucky definitely needs to get it together again. Get it together this week. Falcons defensive line held them really really well week 1, and the the defensive line for the Texans is also no joke. So if Bucky gets it going, if Igbuka shows out possibly again, and if Mike Evans just does what he does on his go routes and his streaks and whatnot, Bucks might have a pretty good game. And CJ Stroud, needs to connect with Nico. Nico did not have a great game week 1. I think he only just had about like 6 or 7 yards maybe. I wouldn't know because I had him in starting fantasy, but we won't talk about that. But yeah, honestly,
25 yards, nothing. Yeah, nothing.
Yeah. So I think Nick Chubb, he did get a touchdown right at the goal line. Maybe I think we gotta look at the stats.
So.
But
no, they
yeah,
didn't
Nick
score a
Chubb.
touchdown last week.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, so he was close. So, but Nick Chubb is Nick Chubb. He's not the same as basically when he basically broke his leg in half. He is getting older. And Joe Mixon, what's the prediction on him coming back? Is it in like a couple weeks?
I think it's a month, so he should be. He should be
Week
back.
5, 6.
Yeah, 6 or 7, I'd have to say.
Yeah. So
Sometime
once
in
Joe
October.
Mixon comes back, I think that run game will start hopefully getting comfortable again. But my pick here, I think I'm gonna go Buccaneers getting the dub, and I think I'm gonna go 21-17 Bucks win.
It's gonna come down to if Baker Mayfield gets going and looks like is more accurate with the football than he was last week, and CJ Stroud. If they give him a little protection, I think CJ Stroud's gonna figure it out this week, and he's gonna look like Stroud on Monday Night Football. I've actually got the Texans here. I think they're gonna win this football game. I think that they're gonna get some sacks on Baker Mayfield. It's gonna rattle him. He's gonna throw a pick or two. And he's gonna have to force the ball if he's down by 7 or 10. I'm gonna take the Texans 23-17.
Yep. Okay.
All right, second to last game here. We got Chargers at the Raiders.
Ooh, Chargers at Raiders.
Divisional match.
Yeah, divisional game. Justin Herbert looked great week 1 against the Chiefs defense. Omarion Hampton, rookie for the Chargers. He looks like he's going to be a stud. Quinn Johnson finally is a decent receiver. We will see throughout the season. If it was just a 1-game wonder, we'll never know till the season goes on. Keenan Allen is back, so he looked really good. Justin Herbert and him, definitely connected back again. Keenan Allen had a really good game against the Chiefs. Geno Smith and the Raiders, what they got to do, honestly, is just keep up that pass rush like they did to us week 1. Max Crosby, if the Raiders want to win, they have to, get pressure on Justin Herbert. Which Justin Herbert's line is looking pretty decent. So honestly, if Geno, comes out slinging again, it's going to be tough. Chargers defense is pretty decent too. But honestly, I think I'm going to make my quick pick. I think I'm going to go Chargers. Chargers 28 to Raiders 20.
Yeah, the Chargers looked really good. Week 1 against the Chiefs, and they finally beat the Chiefs, which they haven't been able to do since forever. So
Yeah. I
I think
don't
the
think
Chargers.
Herbert has ever won against the Chiefs since.
I think it's 2-7 now against Mahomes.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's not good for him. He finally did it though.
Yeah.
The Chargers were really good offensively. Quentin Johnson got involved. Keenan Allen got involved. He looked like basic Justin Herbert to Keenan Allen connection. Unfortunate that Mike Williams decided to retire after he signed with them. They could have had both of them back, Keenan and Mike Williams. I mean, there wasn't really a spot for him in its top 3 this year, but he would have been a good fourth option for them. That offense looked really good. I'm excited for Amari Hampton. Like you said, Hampton's going to be really good. I am very high on him. I think he's going to be the starting running back for years for the Chargers. The Raiders look really good offensively last week against the Patriots. Geno throwing for over 300 yards in week 1 with just Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers like being his only options. That's actually kind of crazy. Pete Carroll's got this team offensively being an offensive juggernaut in week 1, which is crazy. So Chargers are going to look out for that. The Chargers defense is going to have to play good against Brock Bowers because he's playing. They said he looked good, so he's officially going to be playing tomorrow, so that's a good sign. Monday night, so that's good for them. He gets an extra day of rest, which would be good for him. They got to get Gianti going. He had a touchdown last week, but they got to get that run game going. So Chino doesn't have to throw 50 passes a game. I know he can, but they don't want to rely on that if they don't have to. It's going to be the rookie running back show, Marion Hampton versus Ashton Gianti, which will be a little fun. The Raiders defense held up against the Patriots. Their pass rush can be good with Max Crosby. Their secondary is a question mark to me. Devon Diablo leaving and joining Atlanta Falcons, who is playing really, really good last week. That is a huge loss for them on the linebacker position. So it's going to be interesting to see that matchup and how they stop Marion Hampton, how they stop receivers if they can. But I don't think they'll be able to. I'm going to go Chargers 27-17.
Nice. You got the Raiders scoring one more touchdown than me. All right, that's fine.
Yep. Now we have the. I didn't even think about that.
That's gonna be Jacoby Myers, Mawson.
God.
Somebody.
Yeah, you're gonna have nightmares about that tonight.
Can you, a little off topic, talking about the Patriots, like it's literally like the ex-Patriots wide receivers just going off for all the other teams.
You guys have really bad luck. Like any receiver that leaves your team actually just does well on their team. It's like your coaches can't figure out how to unlock them.
Yeah, Tyquan Thornton, Jacoby Myers,
Jalen Polk probably next year.
Jalen Polk, maybe this weekend or this season or whatever. Yeah, so it's just our luck.
Yeah, Diggs needs to step up. Jeez.
He does.
All right, and last game we have here, or the last game for week 2, Falcons at the Vikings. I'll let you go first before I get into it.
Okay, yeah, I'll make this quick because I know you want to get into it. Wow. All right. So who was it again? Falcons and who?
Vikings.
Oh yeah. Sorry. So yeah. So and it's in Minnesota, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sunday Night Football at Minnesota.
All right. So we'll talk about Michael Penix first. Sorry.
Hey, you're not a news crew. Calm down.
So week 1 Falcons Bucks. I thought Penix looked pretty decent, really good out there. finally, Kyle Pitts was actually involved. Drake London was definitely involved. And obviously Bijan and Tyler Algier was out there, but really nothing much was going on with them. Bijan had some pretty good reception yards on some wheel routes and whatnot, and some screens. Minnesota, JJ McCarthy, week 1 against the Bears, really wasn't doing anything the first half. It just, really nothing was clicking. He was missing, Justin Jefferson a bunch. Aaron Jones, second half, then things started clicking for JJ McCarthy. He had a really nice, really, really in the basket pass to Aaron Jones on a wheel route. And, that was really nice to watch. But honestly, oh, man, Falcons defense is definitely looking kind of scary. Xavier Watts was doing really well against the Bucks. Falcons defensive line is looking really good. Falcons linebackers are looking really well. AJ Terrell did miss a couple of knockdowns against Baker Mayfield, but he was definitely close enough that it could have been anybody's ball there. I'll give my pick right now. I think Falcons are going to go 1-1. So I'll give this win to the Falcons. But I think it's going to be a close game because I think JJ McCarthy is actually going to figure out, that TJ Hawkinson and Justin Jefferson package there. So I think I'm still going to give it to the Falcons, but I think it's going to be 27 Falcons, 23 Vikings.
Yeah, so the Vikings figured it out JJ McCarthy specifically figured it out last week. He finally got Justin Jefferson involved with a big touchdown catch, and Aaron Jones on a big touchdown catch as well. It looked like they were dead in the water against the Bears. So, and luckily the second half happened for them. Their defense actually, they stopped the Bears to 6 straight possessions in the second half without scoring. That's unacceptable for the Bears. We'll talk about them in a recap on Tuesday, but whatever happens, but that is unacceptable. I talked about it on Tuesday for the Bears to go 6 straight possessions without scoring. But the Vikings defense did that, so that was an encouraging sign for them and helped them with this comeback that they made on Monday night. So the Vikings need to continue what they did. JJ McCarthy hopefully continues to figures it out, but he does got a challenge here. Michael Penix Jr. In his first full start as a starting quarterback in the NFL, first full season he's going to start. He almost threw for 3. He was 2 yards away. He had 298 yards passing. Absolutely had a field day with that Bucks defense. The Bijan and Tyler Algier, they really could not get going in a run game. And a big part of it is why is really that pistol formation. It can work, but when you're just running out of pistol, it's not helping your offensive line at all, because in pistol your offensive line has to block for 2 to 3 seconds longer than if you were just handing it off to the running back. So that is a little bit worrisome if we keep going at a pistol, unless we got our blocking together, and we have to go to the outside more. That was our bread and butter the last few years. So that it was unacceptable that Bijan and Algier only got 24 yards rushing. Michael Penix almost beat them in rushing yards, which is unacceptable. Penix is not looking to run, but he can if he wants. But that is very unacceptable. Bijan got involved a lot in the receiving game. He had 100 yards receiving, beat anybody in the receiving game, everybody, which is actually insane for a running back. And he had a 50-yard cool touchdown run, receiving catch, which is awesome. Drake London got involved as always. Kyle Pitts actually got very involved, especially in the second half. He had 7 catches for 59 yards. This game, is good for the Falcons because they're getting Drake London is okay with his shoulder. He's very good to go. He doesn't have a limited participation anymore, so that's good for them. And Darnell Mooney is back, who they missed week 1. So that's really gonna help the offense a lot. Michael Penix needs his running game. He showed he can do it if he has to pass, but that running game with Bijan Algier, they gotta get going to get some play actions going against this Vikings defense, who is susceptible to that. So the Falcons really need to get that run game going. Michael Penix got to do his thing. Drake London's got to get open. Darnell Mooney. I think we're gonna see what this Falcons offense is supposed to look like this week. I know it's Sunday night. I know it's in Minnesota. It's gonna be loud, and there's gonna be so many people there in Viking jerseys, and they're gonna do skull chant for no reason. Uh, but realistically, Michael Penix needs to have a game again, which I believe he can. He had one rushing touchdown last week. It's going to come down to Drake London, Darnell Mooney, if they're going to get open against this defense and protecting Michael Penix. I'm going to take the Falcons here. A little biased, but not really. I think we're going to win this game and go 1-1. I'm going to go Falcons 27, Minnesota 23. I think that's the same score you did, but
same score. There we go.
That's how I was gonna go.
I think so.
Yeah. So if you guys have anyone wants to talk about anything or before we hop off, do let us know if you guys want to talk about anything specific. It's Q&A part of the stream. So yeah, if anyone wants to say anything, if there's anything specific Julio wanted to say it now.
Forever hold your peace. How'd you see your ex-boy on the Bears, Zacchaeus?
Yeah, Alameda Zacchaeus. Who was on?
Yep.
He was in Washington. I'm surprised they released him because he had some big catches for them last year.
Yeah.
But well, maybe if Caleb can't throw in the ball accurately, I mean, doesn't help him at all.
Well, I think he was Caleb's like number one go-to guy in the middle, almost basically the whole entire game, almost.
Yeah, I mean, they gotta find a way to get Roma Denza involved. I mean, that's unacceptable that you can't get your second-year wide receiver who's supposed to be a really good Moss type receiver going. Like, you should be able to find him a lot more. And how about they could have won that game too. How about the DJ Moore missed throw by Caleb Williams? He was wide open for the touchdown, and he just
wide
missed
open.
him.
Yeah, wide open. Could have thrown it like a second or two earlier, and he was in the end zone. And then just even if it was still on target, it was still a touchdown. DJ Moore probably would have snagged it anyway, and that probably would have been, I wouldn't say game. That definitely would have been a game changer right there. But DeAndre Swift just really not doing much against that Vikings front line. That Vikings front line is pretty scary though.
Yeah, Ben Johnson. I mean, he should have been able to get more creative with his play calling. I mean, we were used to that, and it kind of wasn't.
Yeah.
But that Bears team's gonna, man. If they drop to 0-2, man, that's gonna be a lot of headlines over there in Chicago.
Yeah, Caleb Williams might be a backup quarterback next year.
Yeah. Apparently there was a stupid report I saw today. This random ESPN reporter that didn't talk to anybody at the Bears. Like, apparently he said that he heard that apparently in the Bears organization that Caleb Williams does not listen to anybody, and even in team meetings, the coaches would ask him a question and he wouldn't respond, which is very odd and I think is very untrue, and he's just making stories up because I doubt Caleb Williams is ignoring his coaches in a team meeting and in film study. I highly doubt he's not listening to Ben Johnson at all.
I would highly doubt that too, because obviously the way he played last year, he's kind of needs to listen to his coach if he wants to be successful this year. Honestly, he almost has like no choice,
Yeah, and you would see it in the offensive game plan and on the field if he was just ignoring the play, ignoring what they told him, because then you would see the wide receivers not being on page with him. Well, kind of what happened, but
Yeah. Sure.
but the wide receivers, I think, wouldn't respect him as much,
Yeah.
and there's no sign of that. So I think that's just
Yeah.
a
And the
fake
rookie,
rumor at all. Yeah.
yeah, and the rookie Loveland too needs to get more involved as well.
Yeah, they did get him a couple catches, which was nice, but
Yeah.
Caleb just kept missing some passes that he shouldn't be missing. Like, that was a game changer passes too. But thank you guys again for watching. I'll be back Tuesday. I think I got a good schedule, Tuesday and Saturday. I don't know when Ian's gonna be on. I mean, I can't do anything if he ignores my text. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Tuesday will probably just be me. I'll try to get Julio, probably Julio again Saturday if he's available. If not, we'll figure something out. But yeah, Tuesday and Saturday is looking like the main schedule. So thank you, Elite, for watching, and everybody who's watching after the live ends tomorrow or before football. So thank you guys again, and we will see you. I'll see you on Tuesday.
Yep.
Thank you for watching the PI Podcast. Make sure you subscribe and tune in next time so you don't miss the latest news in the NFL world. You can also follow us on TikTok at PI Podcast and on Twitter at PI Podcasters. Until next time.